Okay, we're live. This is episode 59. 59. I don't know if the other hosts are going to join me today, but I just wanted to do the show. Um, yeah, I talked to S.V. He's hot last night, and he wanted to come on the show, which I think that would be a good thing. I'm trying to get as many people that I associate with or talk to on the show. Let your voices be heard. The text, the developers, or you know, people they're gonna like it's too much text to read. So if you do a video or it's live, they have no choice but to hear it. And they watch it. It's developers that actually sit down and watch my videos. And I salute y'all. I give y'all big respect. Um Yeah, and please fill out the survey, please. You know, I'm gonna give a giveaway. I've been in talks with that. I'm giving out. I'm gonna start off small. I'm gonna give out $5 gift cards. Then I'm gonna start. The more you share my post, the more I'll put your name back into the I put your name on the wheel more. It'll be like your name will be up there like 2 or 3 times. I really need your help. It's important to the community, not only to me, but to the community and the developers. From talking to developers is helpful for them. And I'm not talking about undisputed. Everything is not undisputed. I don't like kind of got over undisputed because I see the direction they're going in. And I got these developers that want to know what fans really want. Even though I tell them it's better to hear from other people too. And I got. Let me see. Should I talk about that on this? Yeah, because I made a blog with research. Because y'all always be like, Paul think he know everything. Maybe if y'all stop judging me or trying to make me prove me wrong and do your own research and stop listening to what a businessman or a group of business people are saying. Because business people, I'm a businessman, business people, they want their product to sell at all costs. So they're going to use words over and over and over. It's like hypnosis. Look up how do you hypnotize somebody. You keep repeating the same thing over and over, and then they'll do it without you even telling them. They constantly say the same words over and over. And y'all follow suit. Y'all follow everything they tell you. Oh, it's hard to do this. It's hard to do that. No, it's not. It's on them. And the majority of the things that they don't do is because the publisher or the investors say that's too costly to do. And half of the time, I'm like, Steel City spun money on things that wasn't irrelevant, that didn't make sense. So saying that adding certain features and certain modes are too expensive, that's a lie. If you want your game to sell not only to the 12, 13, and 16 and 17-year-olds and some of the older folks, if you wanted to go, you want your game to sell beyond that and trying to make a hybrid mode so everybody could play the same mode, that doesn't work. It never works. Y'all not doing y'all research. I'm doing more research than y'all are. Hybrids don't bring the community together. It divides it more. And y'all scared to give people options. An arcade mode, a sim mode, a hybrid mode. But y'all don't know how to do that. And another thing I'm going to try to bring up right now is y'all game testers, y'all play testers. The majority of them are fighting game fans. So their feedback is going to be for a fighting game. Boxing is not a fighting game. Do your research. A lot of these so-called developers, they're not really boxing fans. I think it's like one, if you want to go by percentage, I think it's like negative 1% boxers fans on the team, or 2%. And I think a developer like a year ago was telling me it's not that many boxing fans on the team. Even though that was one of Ash things that he constantly repeated. He probably was saying that for when the boxers was in the studio, when the actual boxers was in the studio. I don't care if y'all get mad at me. Nobody can kick my butt, no matter how old I am. Nobody can kick my butt or threaten or bully me. That doesn't happen. I was always known as the bully destroyer. Trust me. Friendship or nothing. I'm going to speak my truth. I'm going to speak my truth. Everybody that say they are a boxer is not a boxer. I have receipts. I have friends that I have put on the roster. I'm not seeing these so-called boxers putting other boxers on there. A lot of the boxers they're getting now, I have spoken to already. No matter if Steve Kim is saying, yeah, I talked to boxers and stuff like that. Come on, man. I talked to them boxers already. Come on, man. And your approach is not the same as somebody that box or probably know these boxers. Your approach is not going to be the same. Steve Kim, yeah, you're in the so-called boxing community. You are a speaker about boxing and stuff, but you're not really like in the mix, so to say. And no disrespect to you. But I know when I start reaching out to boxers and we have these conversations, they were more willing to be in the game. I was explaining it different from what I heard Steve Kim. He was saying on when they were doing the interview for the content creators for that event. My approach was different from Steve Kim. It was no problem. I actually had a promoter and manager say, you can have my whole roster. I mean, my whole stable. And I said, no, they just want this boxer, that boxer, and this boxer. That's because I think it was Teofimo promote. I mean, what is manager or promoter? But he was like, yeah, you can have these boxers, but I want a deal so you can get them all. And that was like, that made sense. It wasn't all that extra stuff that I'm hearing Steve Kim say. Not to say he's telling the truth, but I know. But it sounds like everybody keep repeating the same thing that I heard EA say. But when I did it on my own, it was never those problems. And they keep saying, and Steve Kim said, yeah, we have to go talk. We talk to the boxers, then we got to talk to the managers and the promoters. Half of the time, boxers, they can make their own deals. A lot of boxers say, my promoter and manager works for me. Because without me, they have nothing. Far as they don't have that boxer. So I can make my own deals. I can talk for myself. A lot of boxers were saying that. So what Steve Kim's and Ash and all them saying, I'm like, what are you talking about? And Will know that. See, now Will, I hate talking about Will because then, here it go. Poe talking about Will because Poe feel disgruntled and stuff. I actual person that's in the game. He's like a supposed to be a commentator. I mean announcer in the game, which he's not in the game yet. He was defending the game. He was coming on all my posts. You don't know what you're talking about. I say, yes, I do. What are you talking about? You're new to this. He's trying to tell me what I know. A lot of people be doing that. They be trying to tell, Poe, you don't know this or you don't know that. You're not in the gaming industry. You're correct. But I ask more questions than you do. I talk to more developers than you do. I'm not talking about I'm talking to Still City developers behind the scene. No, I'm not talking about to them anymore. EA developers, I talked to them. Why was it that one of the EA developers made it his point to tell me he likes my shows and said he wanted to come on my show? But what happened was EA doesn't like how I say things or my approach because it's going against everything that they're trying to accomplish. His thing was, I was going to have him on the show, but his thing was to steer me away from judgment on EA because I don't know how, but he's new to the EA team. I think he's like been working there for 3 or 4 years. But I had like over 7 years being helping EA, talking to EA, having contact, and like even after Fight Night Champion shut down, I was still talking to EA developers or former EA developers. I was trying to figure out what were they going to do with the Fight Night game because they never officially said we're done with Fight Night Champion. I mean Fight Night, and they never officially said that. Companies don't do that no more because they might bring it back, but they never officially said, "Well, we scrapping the Fight Night series." They never said that. But I was trying to find out, and Brizzo, Brian Hayes, he was telling me. I always was asking him, I think every 6 months, literally, like, yo, what's going on, Brizzo? And he said he's walking around the office banging. He said banging the drum basically and saying, yo, when we gonna do another fight night, another boxing game? He kept saying that. And I don't know if he got frustrated with the situation, but he left EA. What was it, last year or the year before last? But he left EA. He was there for quite a while. Yeah, I'm not get. Let me see who's on my. I apologize to the people at YouTube. I forget that I got YouTube open too. Oh, all right, there y'all go. Pound for pound there. Who else there? AJ Patch. All right. Leafy said, Poe, I'm probably going to listen in and work on my game today. Been cooking up something good and hoping to send out a new build in the server. All right. I appreciate you, man. Anyway, footwork systems will be the main focus to allow you to be more methodical. AJ Pax sitting on the side. You are right, Poe, about fighting game fans. They don't understand the sport of boxing. They don't want no one to use a jab. They want it to play like Street Fighter and Tekken. Exactly. That's facts. They wanted to play just like a fighting games. And the game, some of the game, no, I'm not gonna say some of the game. The majority of the games, the game testers, they are street fighting games. Street Fighter players. I don't even think they even reached out to anybody that's a boxing fan. That would have made sense to me, business-wise. Their whole business model is trash. They're using the same business models from 10, 20 years ago. Those fans grew up. If they were 10, 5 years now, it's like time is flying. Fans are becoming boxing fans. So it makes no sense, the vision, the way they're going. Their vision, it's like they have a confused vision. They don't know what they want still, Undisputed to be. It's like they're searching for an identity. It's like they're struggling to be a realistic boxing game. Then you got these, I call them cult fans, because they repeat what the developers say instead of doing their own research. Pose, they know what they're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. Do the research. Do the research. Yes, I do know what I'm talking about. I'm old enough to be hey, I've been doing this for years, decades. I've been doing my research. Because I used to catch EA out there all the time. I keep telling y'all that. But a lot of y'all keep saying, no, Poe, realism not going to be fun. Y'all part of the microwave age. That's what you call a person want instant gratification, except when you play a fighting game. When a fighting game, when you can't really beat a character and then you finally beat them and it's satisfying, that's what boxing is. You got to use strategy. You'll use strategy in a fighting game, but you think that a boxing game don't supposed to have strategy to it. That's crazy. That makes no sense whatsoever. And these investors and publishers, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. What research are y'all doing? Put out the data. Do a survey. I'm doing a survey. Do a survey so you can counteract what I'm doing. Put out a survey. They're scared to put out a survey. Then here go the excuse. No, people going to be voting twice. The same people going to be voting like 10, 20, 30 times. No, they're not. If you set up the survey the correct way with their email address or whatever, because the way they got it set up nowadays, in the last 5, 10 years, you can't repeat if you use the right survey site. People cannot repeat vote. They can't vote over and over. Stop. Stop with the nonsense. You're talking to grown people. A lot of your players that are gamers, that your gamers are mostly adults. Gamers are mostly adults. They adults or pre-adults. Stop with the nonsense. And then when y'all were saying, it's a thing what they keep saying, that the 5%, Ash is saying that he put that word that 5% out there on purpose, and then 95%. Salute boxing. Ash put out that fake number. It was something to stick in the head. I caught it immediately. He said, 5% of these people and 5%, they don't really make up the community. They're your most passionate community. So the so-called 5% is your most passionate community, because your so-called 95% is going to leave. Casual fans don't stick around like the hardcore boxing and gaming fans. They don't stick around that long. They really don't. So now they're still trying to pull the casual fans in. But then I gave them ideas what keeps a casual fan attached to a game. And everything that they took out, those part of it. This is one thing that would have kept a casual fan. The story, I mean the career mode, it had to be more fleshed out. The creative boxer mode had to be more fleshed out. And people saying, well, if they make the creation mode too in depth, they're not going to be able to sell DLC. Yes, they will, because there's some things you can't do in a creation mode that motion caption can do. The creative character mode would have done it close enough, but not, the way it should. And the thing is, if they fans would support it, like certain boxes like Gerald McCullen, I forget the other guy's name. I had his name. I kept repeating his name and still forgot. But all these boxers that need help, they can help them. Fans will help them. It's just that Steel City don't know how to ask people the right questions. And then when they say that they're losing out money on certain things, that's y'all spending habits. That's y'all spending y'all money the wrong way. I see a lot of things y'all doing right, but a lot of things y'all doing wrong. I wish I was a developer. I wish a studio would have pulled me in. When I was helping round for round, I was like kind of making all the decisions. I was not all of them, but I was saying a lot of things. Exactly. AJ Pack said, when you think about DLC, it's like tipping, but we are tipping on a half-cooked meal. Exactly. Facts. Facts. That's why, I'll be shocked. I'll be extremely shocked if the champion mode does well. That right there is going to show Steel City where they stand at with the community. Or maybe not. Salute Aaron. Yeah, salute OG. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that I'm up here like Steel City keep feeding people stuff what they're going to accept. They've literally, that's what they're trying to do. And I heard that what's her name, Saf, she was they say they kind of felt like she was she was mocking them when she was talking about the update. She's like she felt like, they felt like she was mocking them about the game. She was lying to them about the update um notes that she was gonna put out. I'm forgetting things because I'm constantly thinking about ideas. That when I be saying I always have a billion ideas, I literally have a lot of ideas. I'm always writing. I gotta write. Exactly. Even the content creator was going off of, on at SAF. I'm not putting no names out there, but even the content creators was going off on SAF the way they're doing things. Leafy said, I have a bad feeling about the championship edition update. They had to delay patch notes on the day they were supposed to release patch notes. I think so too. I called her out. Aram said, I called her out on that. You seen what I said about Sap and Jay's Discord. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Why you took it out? Oh, I know why you took it out. Because you didn't want to put out there. And a lot of developers watch my videos. So, yeah. Yeah, that was a good catch, Aaron. That was a good catch. Yeah, don't put nobody out there because they're trying to do. Oh yeah, this y'all have to watch. Y'all have to watch. I game you box. No, I game you watch. That's a good name. I might use that. No, stop. I game you watch. Y'all got to watch his video. He was going off. He was sounding like me. Get on the wagon. I game you watch. He was saying a lot of games and I mean things, and I like what he was saying. And a lot of things he was saying, I've been saying for the longest. And it's crazy for him to say all that on his video. I mean, on his YouTube, when he's one of the content creators that's part of the group that's the league. He's saying these things, and they're like, "Well, you gotta get rid of him. He's talking against us." Let me see, pound for pound. Say, "Oh, can you guys wait till Monday? Let me ask this: can you guys actually keep your promise or no?" You ain't write that. I know you ain't write that. Don't leave you. Don't write that. Yeah, it's just crazy. Let me see. Let me see. Since I don't have no extra heads here, I'm a, um I'm gonna read one of my blogs. Then I go into things a little more deeper. Let me see. Oh yeah, I'm gonna read this one. The Forgotten Giants. Why boxing games never advance like other sports titles. An investigative editorial by Poe. Me. The paradox of global historic sports. Boxing is one of the oldest organized sports in human history. Yet in the video game world, it has been treated like an afterthought, a niche, a genre, underserved of consistent evolution and big budget development. In fact, the first recognized boxing video game appeared 49 years ago in 1976. Let that sink in. Boxing video game had been around for 49 years. And look what we got now. From a historical standpoint, boxing has had more total video game entries than some entire sports games, predating most of today's major franchises, even including FIFA, NBA 2K, or Madden NFL. So why has a sport with such deep roots, cultural influence, and global recognition failed to advance in the video game industry the way basketball, football, or even skateboarding games? The skateboarding games part is because it's a niche. People keep saying boxing is too much of a niche. Even though I say a niche with an N, it's too much of a niche. But it's so. I mean, it makes a billion. Oh, it's a multi-billion dollar. It's a multi-billion dollar sport. It's a niche that makes no sense. Skateboarding ain't a multi-billion dollar sport. Might be a multi-million dollar, not billion. Let me see what y'all saying on what's going because I can't see y'all. All right, let me see. I gave it a 3.5 out of 10 after he got wined and dined. Wilkinson and the SCI team are fools with their content creator focus. It backfired. Yup. Yep. I gave you watch. He did a move that EA did to me. EA they sent me out to the content create at my time. We were called game changers. I wasn't a game changer, but they still knew I was a voice in the community, so they pulled me out there. Their thing was they gave me a hotel room, I think for 3 days. They fed anything I wanted when I wanted to order, and they showed me around the studio and everything. So then they sent me to the Mike Tyson. Let me go to the Mike Tyson movie premiere. Mike Tyson was there. Joe Frazier was there. All the celebrities was there. And that still didn't change my perspective of what Fight Night was. I was always the most outspoken. And they tried to. And come to find out, Will was one of those people that was trying to get me put out. And all these time, I was giving Will praise. I was giving Will respect. I was talking to Will for all these years, like when boxing matches came up. And Will was I heard that Will was one of these people that wanted to let me go, put me, no, why should we have pulled back? He's too opinionated. He has too much passion. Too much passion is going to break our game. I'm not gonna make the voice like my homie, the Beast. I'm just saying it the way I'm saying. But he like really like it's like he went against everything I was, the voice I was. I've been, I don't care who keep popping up, no shade to nobody, but all these content creators acting like they were talking about a new boxing game after soon as I was talking about a new boxing game since the Knockout Kings. Because even when the Fight Night series started, I started seeing discrepancies. Then I started going in hard, like Fight Night round 4, I started going hard. Because, I was giving the developers all this feedback, but they wasn't really taking it in. And then in Fight Night Champion, I finally got one of the developers to tell me, Poe, we love your ideas. You have great ideas, but it was a big but we have people above us that still is going by the older model. And that was in Fight Night Champion days. The CEOs, the publishers, and it's crazy that EA still had investors. You're a $1 billion company, but you still have investors. I never understood that whole model. Because CEOs can push the real owner of the company out. But, they kept saying, Poe, we love your ideas. They said we had to focus more on the story mode. And the story mode didn't even save the game. Even though the developer, I'm not going to keep putting his name out there. The developer that told me, he said, we already was planning out for Fight Night Champion 2. He said the story mode was going to be bigger, better, and everything. Let me read what y'all saying. Pound for Pound said EA lost their love for Skate when they launched Skate 4 with only the flick it controlled. Controls being something from the Skate series. Indie devs should make their own Skate game like Skate 1.5 to rival EA. Skate and a half to rival EA. You think what Todd said earlier this year still applies? we've got big news heading towards near the end of the fall. I was thinking it was the Teofimo, but that went by so fast. I think so. Cause it's like Steel City back is really, it's not against the wall. Their back is in the wall. They don't like made a imprint in the wall. So they really have to do something. This company is going to fall apart quickly. It's going to fall apart quickly. It's not like they got other games to save this one game. And this is another thing that I be trying to get on people that call themselves defending EA. I mean, it's defending that. You see how easy it was for me to call Undisputed, Steel City EA. The thing is, they have to really do something to keep the fan base. Because EA start falling apart. They're the Fight Night Champion, and people keep saying, no, Fight Night Champion was doing good all this time. No, it wasn't. Once people see that their silent protest wasn't working, then they started back playing the game and start saying, they start like, hey, EA, look, you got all these people playing the game and stuff. Come on, we want another box. And that's when things start happening. That's when they start getting more players. But before that, no. The game is not, that's not going to happen with Steel City. Especially when you got, don't let one of these games that's these 2 and 3 developers are working on come out. Even if they put out a demo that's playable and you could keep playing over and over, even if it's Parsec. If it's a great game, they're going to attract developers. They're going to attract investors. They really can. I really think if Love Shorty pushed this game more, he will get the support that he really needs. Especially in a Discord. You got to push it a little more. I see developers that's looking at his video game. And if he asks, he got to ask. If you ask for help in your project, you will get the help. I know these things. And stop questioning me. Bro, how do you know? Because I know. I really do know. I'm not one of them jokers sitting on his hands. I'm seriously in developers' DMs. Seriously on LinkedIn communicating with these developers. I'm talking back and forth with them. What do you think? Because a lot of them, I know there were like 5 developers in the industry, like developers in the industry. They wanted to make a boxing game. Then when they see what Steel City was doing, they got excited. Because a lot of companies, they were scared. They were more scared of EA than they were of Steel City. Because they know Steel City, EA has more money to put behind it. But they said, let's wait and see how long can Steel City keep this up. But then when they sold 1 million and it dropped drastically, then they start getting scared, like, oh, what's going on? We can't afford this. And my thing was, that's what happens when things start changing and you're not implementing what fans really want. Let me see. I think that news was the championship edition. That's what I was thinking. But we could be wrong. Check your messages real quick on the Discord too. Who, me or Leafy? Leafy, I don't think that was it. I don't think that was it was. That's what it was. Um. Oh, you talking about Leafy? Let me see. I think I might put out a playable demo soon on it, itch or switch, but I'm on the fence still. Yeah, don't put out nothing that's going to bite you, that come back and bite you. No, put out a game that's like decent. It's like playable and though to get people a little excited. Maid said laughing my off at iGame reviewing, then they got creatively. Yeah, that's crazy. I gave you watch is on a creator league and he trashed the game. Skate is trash. I thought at first people said Skate was a great. I mean, the new Skate game was good. Now all of a sudden it's trash. I don't know what's going on. And my thing is, they might be trying to make it sort of unplayable because they're giving it away free, a free game, and it's hoping nobody will like really say anything about a playable game. I mean, a free game, and then they're just going to give you all the DLCs and microtransactions. Play in session. Let me see. Let me see. Oh yeah, you were one of the people that said it was good, Leafy. Play section skate sim is way better. Take your time, Leaf. Don't rush the process. Progression is in the patience. Exactly. That's a great thing to say, Aaron. Physics based, you gotta earn it all. No, physics based, you gotta earn it all. Kind of like bloody knuckle street boxing. Yeah, Leafy, easy going for sure, Made and Aaron. You Poe just shout you a message in the Discord. All right, give me a second. Let me see what you're saying. Give me a second. Yeah, but it's crazy that these companies brainwashing people. But the thing is, a lot of us older gamers, we're not saying nothing. We're not saying anything. Like I was having a discussion with somebody. They were saying there's not really that many boxing fans playing video games. Yes, it is. They're just not talkative like me and a lot of boxers. They're not on here arguing back and forth. A lot of them prefer playing offline. That's why. That's why when with my survey, please share the survey too. With my survey, that's I'm trying to prove a point. It's a lot of people. It's like kind of even. The online and offline modes are even. A lot of people on the online, their thing is, and I hate this. This to me is like that dictator mentality. No, we don't need an offline mode. Force the offline people to play online. No, that should be an option. Some people that come home from work and stuff, they don't want to be harassed and bothered with online. Some people can take that, but not everybody want that. All right, give me a second, Aaron. Let me see. Since you sent it to me in the DM, I'm pretty sure it's private. So let me keep it private. All right, facts. All right, great. You kind of knocked out some of my conversations that I was gonna say, but I keep it to myself. Let me see. me see. Where was I? I think it's good, but there's more. This is what Leafy's saying. I think it's good, but there's more that I need to make still, and this is just for boxing, not even counting kickboxing, MMA, and NCAA wrestling. Damn, Leafy, you doing a lot of stuff for one game and one person. That's a lot of stuff. When you present your idea to companies, you got to keep it the focus probably on one or two things, because for one they're gonna always say you're one developer and you're focusing on a lot of different things. How can you work on all these different things by yourself? That's their first question they're gonna ask. I know this for experience because somebody did that before in the EA forums. Let's go, Poe. What's up, Boxing Lounge? Shout out. Beefy, you got a server? HW on Discord. If I'm not in it and there, yeah, I would think that you of all people would have been in his server. Let me see. He's the biggest creator of them. I don't think Game You Watch is one of the biggest creators. Hold up. Yeah, he is. Yeah, yeah. But then you got to look at what's called. Um, what's called was pushing this game. What's his name? I didn't really like him at first. The MMA, I forget his name because I don't see him that much. I don't see his name that much. Marshall Mind. Marshall Mind is one of the big. I think he's a bigger creator than Game You Watch. And Marshall Mind not really saying too much about Steel City anymore because he wasn't really a fan. He's not really giving the feedback that we need. That was my thing with Steel City. You 42, mate. Dad, man. I thought you was. I was looking at you. I'm serious. I was looking at you as a teenager, or like you was around like Leafy age. I really thought you was younger than what you are. Yeah. So you on the OG list. Yeah. Make sure you share the wish list. I mean, not the wish list. Because I used to always tell people on the EA forums and in the different forums on the internet. That's why I say I've been around for a long time. And this gonna make me really seem old. I was around when they made forums and chats. I was like right there when they started making it. I'm not 90, 80, 70, and 60s and stuff like that. But I was there when they start making these things. I was making wish lists way back then. I said Zen. Then TH. Made. Yeah, I did a year of wrestling, and thanks to my Kenpo, I get to work on ground games, so it's gonna be amazing. Mo, hopefully. Yeah, you gotta when you present the game, you gotta be careful with how many ideas you put into one thing, because if you look at it, even with the bigger companies, if you look at it, when you make more than one focus on the game, they're gonna look at you they're gonna look at you as you can't really make up your mind. You're not focused, but you got to get the one idea done right first, and then and this coming from I was talking to somebody. You know, I was all right with what you was doing, but I know how things can go. But I was like, all right, but I was talking to somebody. They said you're focused on too many things as a one developer, and him being in the industry as a veteran, he's saying when you focus on too many things, that means the game is going to be half cooked, half made. Then your focus, because you're one person. They're scared. Then people gonna be scared to invest in you because they're gonna say, "How is this one developer going to make all these different things? All these different. He's gonna do boxing. He's gonna do wrestling. He's gonna do martial arts. They're gonna start feeling some type of way because that's how what we was talking about yesterday. When you present your game to a company, you got to show them, yeah, that might be in your future, like near future, near. That means it's right there, but let them know that you're focused on one idea to get that right first. Because if you say all these different things, they're gonna say, how are you gonna do all these things by yourself? That's like me saying, just say, cause I never took the time to try to learn. EA was developers. He was trying to get me to learn coding, learn the gaming industry. I learned the gaming industry, but they said learn how to do certain things in the gaming industry. And they said so you could be on a game development in a company. But my thing was, I know I didn't have the patience to actually try to make a game because I'm always making ideas. My thing is I give you a list of ideas and you do it. And my son, when he see how it was, he was like, "Bah, I'm going to school for gaming." He was going to help me get my idea out, but his thing was he got mad at the school because his thing was, how was I in high school and I was actually working on ideas, or they were talking about ideas and I was actually working on it. But when I get to college, we're doing math, social studies, and all these different things in an art school. I mean, in a game development school. And math, my son, to me, he a genius. He can tell you, I'm not a genius in math. I'm not. I don't like. I said, stop repeating what I say. I'm not that good in math. I'm horrible in math. But as I got older, I started getting better in math. But my son, he like Rain Man. You could drop a box of sticks on the ground, and he could tell you exactly how many sticks are on the ground. Even if he used the logic that they say it's 1,000 matchsticks in the box, he might use that logic, but he'll say no. You know, I'm just saying how logical he is about math. And I said, yo, because I remember I dropped out of school, went back to school, and then I passed. I, went back to school. I got my diploma because my teacher was like, "You're," she was like, "You're good, but you keep telling yourself you're not good at math." She said, what you got to do." She told me how to do it, and I said, "All right." She said, "You're doing too much. Keep it simple." She said, "Your mind." She was talking to me like she was a psychologist, like she was like a master and stuff. She was like, "Keep it as simple as possible." She said, "This what you do," and I passed my test in flying colors. All right, let me see. Oh, Mocha, shout out to Mocha. I ain't see your name in a while. If you get a chance, fill out the survey. I'm doing a giveaway. I think probably I might do it next week or the following week. But I'm doing a giveaway. I think it might be $5 gift cards, digital gift cards, and then it's gonna go up. the more you the more you share the survey, the more your name gets the on the list. I mean on the wheel, because I got a wheel. And yeah, I'm gonna start off with $5 gift cards. Because I'm trying to give away my on Steam, I got like $40 that I had in there that I was trying to I was gonna help Steel City because I was gonna keep putting money in there to give away games. I was gonna give away a undisputed game. But games. So, with that, I'm gonna give away like I'll probably give away two. I might give away four $5 cards and two $10 cards. And but I'm trying to do a giveaway like I'm gonna put your name on the wheel and we could, I'm trying to get people to do the survey. Their thing is if Steel City isn't putting out the survey, but it's gonna be biased. My thing is if a hardcore fan of boxing and gaming puts out a survey, it's not going to be biased. It's not going to steer you toward an answer. You're going to be like, why they ain't put this answer on there? Why they ain't put this on the list? Because a lot of times they trying to steer you. I know from experience with EA. I think EA did like 3 or 4. And a couple that I did on my own that the developers was okay with. I still got a picture of it for all the people that love doubting me for some reason. I'm not crazy like that. Let me see. Mocha said, hold on, let me try to read these in order. Let me see. Yeah, definitely OG, man. I was there when live chat started. He was pushing it during early access, but Marshall Mind lost interest in it. Yeah, facts. Like basic chat. Leafy and I don't know. I think you messed up. Kind of agree with Poe. Oh, I kind of agree with Poe. I think you made a Yeah, you did. Agree with Poe. Obviously, just make sure you do one thing perfect or mainly. Exactly. Maybe public knows exactly what the product is. Yeah, or the focus is. Yeah, I'm making sure. This is what Leafy saying. I'm making sure to stay focused on boxing 100%. I will only move to making more modes when boxing is fully finished and all the mechanics are there. Sure, I guess it does look bad on paper. EA Sports is coming. New fight night. Moga said new fight night. Let me see who this is. I think it's AJ Pax. No, it's Papanosis. What's up, Pat? Pat, I can't hear you. You might have to back out and come back in. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Let me see. I might have to type this in the Yeah, I can't hear you. I can't hear. Pat. All right, let me get back to um yeah, you said EA Sports is coming. Hopefully, but we got to realize, is it really coming? Because you got to realize that EA just got bought out. Do we? Is I'm hoping they do. I'm hoping they bring back a lot of games that EA shelved that they saw wasn't important to them. Yeah, like you can do it, but gotta be covered. Convert. Oh yeah. Mocha 5694. What makes you think that a new fight night is coming? Are you talking about the modded version? Yeah, that's true. But the Saudis, they really wanted. Yeah, because their thing was Steel City pushed the Saudis out, pushed Turkey out, because Turkey wanted to invest in the game. He wanted to be a major part of Undisputed, but they pushed him out, and then they added um three. It's actually four developers from the UK. When I say four developers, I'm talking about one is Ryan Rhodes, the boxer. Um, but them investors, he let them be in it. But if he would have had Turkey Alex Sheik, like like actually an investor, the game would have been 20 times better than what we got now. I say 50 times better than what we got. For one, you kind of got endless money with Turkey. Turkey like for things to be done right. But Turkey, one thing about Turkey, if there's 50 boxing games, he's going to promote the 50 boxing games. Because Turkey got his own game coming out with the guy from Japan. He, I don't know if it's going to be like Boxing Road or Victorious Boxing, but he got a game coming out with him. But I'm pretty sure Turkey would invest in other boxing games. And my thing is, where do we go from now with Turkey? I'm really hope. I mean, with EA, is EA really gonna make another boxing game, or that's us wishing that EA is gonna make another boxing game? But I would kind of hope that Turkey push, like being that now that they got EA. I don't know if it actually Turkey, because Turkey is not only the rich Saudi and Saudi Arabia. I think Steel City Interactive is limited. Mind you, they are an independent company. Nah, they're not. Don't. We can't keep saying Steel City. We keep giving them a pass. They're not an independent company. Not at all. Once you get publishers, once you get investors, once you start getting all these things like this, you're not an independent company. Independent companies, they publish their own games. Steel City is not an independent company. Ash is not making his own decisions. An independent company does. Ash is leaning on other people to make things. I mean, to give them advice. Ash is not making the game that he wanted. Nah, man, stop. See, you giving them excuses. You saying this SCI first game. So you mean to tell me, even though this is their first game, 5 years, a game developer said this. I keep repeating this, but I don't want to have to. But some people, I guess they didn't watch the show. 5 years, your first game, and this is how it looked. Stop giving them excuses. You know how many developers are saying that Steel City is keep falling behind that excuse? It's their first game. But you have over 20, 30 veteran developers that's been in the industry almost from day one. They have 30 and 40 years of experience in the gaming industry, 20 years experience. It makes that when experience cuts out it being your first game. That's like me, like actually saying that, I make cheesecakes and I'm having a hard time making the cheesecakes, right? I'm just using an example. Then I hire 5 chefs that's been in the industry for years. I'm no longer known as this your first game. I mean, your first time, your first business adventure. They're not going to look at me that way. People keep giving Steel City excuses. Your excuses is not going to make the game better. Even when other game company make video games, when we keep taking on the cult mentality, we defending them, it's not going to make the game better. We got to make these companies be accountable for the game that they made. That's like you saying, like if my son was, boxing like he started out, and I say, "Oh, that's all right, son. You're doing the right thing. Do it." You're still just agreeing with everything. He's gonna be a horrible boxer. He's gonna be a horrible person. You get better with experience. When you're surrounded by experience, there's no excuse. They have people from EA on the team, former developers, producers. Was it a CEO? No, not a CEO. But they got a lot of people on the team that have experience. We can't keep giving them the excuse it's their first game. This game should have came, the way this game is now, it should have came out 3 years ago. And I've seen companies with a product similar. It only took them, 2, maybe 3 years? It's 5 years. It's their first game. I never seen a company do that. They keep starting over. They keep breaking the game down. And one thing, the excuses that y'all not looking at, they keep stripping the game away. But you pay $70, $60, $50 or whatever for the game. But let's say you bought a car and every week they come and take a tire. They take a door. They take a windshield. Wouldn't you get upset? You should. Or are you scared to say something? They might take the engine. But then you realize the engine, keyword, engine, does not sustain you getting back and forth to where you want to go. Let me read some of these. Fight Night Champion had 10 training modes. Steel City, I'm not reading that. Has 0. Is that exactly? A lot of these things that man, you're saying, and I'm saying that's why when people they really get mad, they keep know everything. Man, I'm old. I'm 55. I'm old. I've been around from day one. I had time to read and study. I have time to read and study. That's how I am about things. I'm always studying and reading, gather information. I used to always do that with EA. When they say, "Oh, we can't do this." Really? Well, I asked this developer that has more experience than you, and he said it can be done. Say, all right, Poe. All right, we're gonna add that. Then some things they just couldn't add. The number of people that want Mike Tyson in a broken game is diabolical. It really is. It really is. And it gets me mad. You know, I hate calling out people, but there are content, I'm going to just say content creators. There are content creators that's excited about getting DLC. We getting four boxes for free on DLC. I mean DLC for Undisputed. I'm like, you really? You serious? Are you serious? You say we're getting 4 boxers. The boxers don't fight like themselves. Emmanuel Gus's was one out of, I say it's like 5. I give him a little leeway. 8 boxers on the whole roster that fight like themselves. That's what I'm saying. 8 boxers. I could be wrong because I haven't played the game in about a couple of years. But I watch videos and stuff. But yeah, it's crazy that people, they want new boxes, want new DLC, and they refuse to talk bad about the game. You not talking bad about the game or not saying anything, it's not going to make the game get better. It really is not. Because if you say things to be critical, give critical criticism, but they want us to say, give nice criticism, but they try to word it in a way that you don't talk bad about the game. The game is bad. The game is 100% bad. Let me see. Mocha said, I gave up on Undisputed. That's just me. Yup, me too. I kind of gave up on it. I got like a little smidgen because I want other companies to like, because a lot of companies watching Steel City. A lot of them, like, they really expressed that they are upset with Steel City. Because when they saw what Steel City was doing, they said, all right, Steel City opened the door for us. Now we could do what fans really want. But then Steel City slammed the door. No, we're not doing that. Then companies start saying, all right, Steel City, now they're starting to lose. We start seeing them losing their fan base. Now they're like, should we make a boxing game? And you got to realize a lot of these veterans that's getting fired from these companies, they're trying to get other developers to come together. You know, come on, let's all come together and make a boxing game or make a game in general. You know, they're trying to get all these other people that's without a job to come together. They have experience, and it's easy for them to get loans and stuff. It's gonna be easy, like when EA, like literally they signed the papers that, you know, the Saudis and Jared Kushner has the game. They're going to start signing a lot of these veterans. A lot of these veterans they're going to sign. So my thing is, we got to keep the pressure on Steel City. A lot of people, they're past the part when we keep defending them, but people still defend them. They hope they're going to get something. Man, if you're so hyped up for a belt, I give you my belt. I have a belt. I have 3 belts from my state championships. It's the amateur state championships. And don't trust me. Don't look at them like, oh, he talking about amateur state championships. A lot of y'all don't realize the amateurs is, see, a lot of y'all compare amateurs, like in boxing, to casuals. No, I seen some hard fights in the amateurs. Shannon Briggs, he's a friend of mine. I used to see him knock people out all the time. I'm in one ring fighting. I stopped my boxing, but he was knocking out people violently. Shannon was knocking people out violently. Shannon used to come to my fights all the time. I have mad respect for Shannon and his trainer. Shannon was from New York coming over to Jersey, getting fights and stuff, or watching our tournaments. And salute to Shannon. That's my bro. That's my brother. He's like a brother to me. It's many a times after sparring, me and Shannon walked. We like after we'll hit the bag. Tell you like, come on, let's go for a walk. Let me see. You can hear me now? Pat, you can hear me? Pat.
Hey, what's going on, man? Finally, I was
All
able
right.
to connect now.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
on you. Yeah, I'm on YouTube too. I'm on here
sweet.
and YouTube.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. So what's up with you?
Not much, just trying to maintain and stuff. Just try to finish up these projects so I could start traveling and whatnot.
I heard
And shoot, what else I was gonna say? That ChatGPT, I was asking it questions the other day about how I can make the ultimate wrestling game with these games all combined, and they gave me a format and whatever. I'm gonna try to see what I could cook up for boxing and MMA.
okay. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see. I'm trying to monitor this site and still the YouTube. Let me see. I'm reading a message right now. I said Poe. Mocha 5694 said, Poe, this is my question. You think EA Sports with the expert team they have in 2026 can they make a better boxing game? Heck yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's not for one, it's not gonna be the same developers. And they're gonna try like far as if the Saudis bought the game, they're gonna give them more freedom to make a realistic boxing game. They're gonna give them more freedom to do certain things that the other CEOs was like, no, you can't do that. A lot of the things that was going on with EA, they were trying to stick to the same game model as they were 15 or 20 years ago. That realism doesn't sell, and we can't give y'all too much. So yeah, I think EA game. Not even if 2K makes a boxing game, even though people talk bad about 2K, even if 2K made a boxing game, it will sell. I think it will actually do better than Undisputed and all these other games because people gonna look at it like they have veterans on their team. They're gonna look at it as they could accomplish what Steel City. Because my thing is, since Steel City want to keep using we're indie company, after 5 years you got investors, publishers, and all that. That's not an indie. I can read the definition to you. They're not an indie company. They keep when they keep saying that, it keeps them from being accountable for what they're doing. That's why if they keep saying that, that's what they're doing. Let me see. Aaron said a lot of people gave up on them, but I speculate they're about to try and create a resurgence. Next, let me see. Next peak and the last peak of the game will be 28th this month, unless they move the game to a different engine and get servers and start going back to the origin version of the game. I think so too. Mocha said, bro, they made us pay $60 for a boxing game that doesn't even have robes, training mini games, and dirty career mode.
And
Fact,
limited customizations too.
yeah. And that was one of my biggest things. I was even telling the developers in the early development, they were talking to us and listening to us. Like Aimbot, even though I used to beef with Aimbot a little bit, but then I respected Aimbot because he helped my son on essay he had because my son was going to college for game development, and Aimbot gave him an interview. My son, did an interview. Aimbot told me to send the questions and stuff, or however I wanted to do it. So I just sent them the questions instead of a live interview with my son. I wish they would have did a live interview. But yeah, with customizations, I was like talking about that a lot in the Discord and stuff. And I think what messed up with you, Pat, and a lot of the guys because there's a lot of guys that came in there like Country Boy and stuff. They come into the Discord, and once they hear about us, and I'm pretty sure Will has something to do with that, because Will, they used to get mad about the Whistlers Mafia. They used to get mad at us.
For real.
And we had the whole community backing us. Let me see. We got new people in here on the YouTube. Mocha said, bro, they made, I read that. Absolutely 100. EA has the money and expert team behind them. A win-win. Yes, still EA can get developers, especially because I'm always hanging on LinkedIn. I'm like I want to say groupie, but I'm always on the Discord talking to the developers of different companies. And I'm getting feedback and talking to them about things. But a lot of these guys, they're not working. So if they snatch them up, whatever company that snatched them up and they want to make a boxing game or whatever, they're going to have the ultimate game. Let me see. Mocha said, "A paid to get Floyd Mayweather in the game." And my thing is, the way they're going, they can afford on DLC to get Floyd. If you say $5, people gonna pay it. They're going to complain, but they're still going to pay for it. But my thing is, why put Floyd in a broken game? Why put any boxer with a big name in the game and is broken, and then you don't have all the mechanics? And I'm going to say it again. I know it's going to hurt people's feelings. They're going to get butt hurt because I seen somebody get butt hurt. I guess somebody else brought it to their attention. Stop letting people say, I'm a boxer. I can help this game. And they're not really a boxer. If you didn't have pro fights and stuff, you're not a boxer. You might be able to give advice on amateur boxing. And even if you didn't have a lot of amateur fights, you can't give, if you had 2 or 3 amateur fights, you're not an amateur. I mean, you can't give advice. I had over 46 amateur fights. So I know what I'm talking about. I fought pro. I fought guys like, not for them, but I sparred guys like Shannon Briggs. I sparred guys like Ray Mercer. I fought so many contenders and champions. So I know what I'm talking about. If y'all say, hey, I'll spar such and such, and you can prove it, all right, I can shut up. Poe don't know what he's talking about. But I do. All right, tell 2K to put them boxes in the Pro Play engine. Laughing out loud. Do you think they got to switch to Unreal Engine? That what Young City said, but I think so. They got to do something because even the owner's saying the game is broken. He said the game is broken. My thing right there is you should have kind of kept that to yourself, because now people going to really look and say, well, Poe and such was right. The game is broken. So why are you putting more DLC in the game, in a broken game, and people accepting it. You got to speak out. And I'm say again, please fill out the survey, please. Let me see. Yes, Aaron saying this. Yes, because what they're trying to do isn't viable on this end, especially if online will be successful. Facts, bro. Mocha said, no, nah, don't put Mayweather in undisputed and fight, put him in fight. No, no, I'm talking about if they can recover from their mistakes in an upgraded version of the game, like the Unreal Engine or something like that, Mayweather will do good. They got the other Mayweathers. They got his father and his uncle. And my thing is they should do a package deal. It's call it the Mayweather package. And you get Roger, you get people to do a Roger, let one of the somebody do Roger's style. But you got Roger Mayweather, you got Floyd Mayweather, you got Floyd Senior. Then how I keep forget my man name and
Jeff
the other,
Mayweather.
huh?
Jeff Mayweather.
Yeah, Jeff. That. And I did an interview with Jeff before. You remember that interview?
Yeah, I remember that too. I was there for that one.
Yup. Yeah. So they could do a thing like that. The issue is the net code. Yeah, it is the net code. My thing is, I think even on Unreal, on Unity, the game would have been better, but they kept doing things unconventional, doing things that because even Ash kind of said, "What did y'all do with this code?" He was saying that they're like, "What do y'all do?" Like whoever did the coding, they didn't know what they were doing. That's what I'm taking from what Ash said in the interview. Y'all could watch the interview again, so it don't seem like I'm lying. Poe don't know what he's saying. Poe lying. He just making up stuff. And Boxing said, I'm glad he slipped up and didn't keep it to himself. Exactly. I'm glad he didn't keep it to himself, but now you got to uphold that. Give me a second. Yeah, the DLC concepts are trash the way they set it up. They need like when marketing, they need somebody like me. They need like people like really fans. I love marketing. Like when I be doing my artwork and stuff like that, when I do my AI artwork sometimes, you still gotta be artistic about it. That means you gotta explain to the AI what you really want. The AI gonna get it wrong like 2 or 3 times. But I learned how to say things the way it should be. All right, let me stop leaving Pap to the side. All right, Pap, what you wanted to say?
I say sometimes even more than 2 times that AI be messing up.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
I know with my characters.
Yeah, I learned how to you gotta like really be descriptive. Then I gotta ask. Sometimes I ask another AI, what does it take to get this done in the game to make it right? Because a lot of people, this the funny part. See, you know me from years and years. People be saying, "Bro, you always using AI. You don't know how to think for yourself." I've been writing wish lists before there was AI. I've been doing artwork before there was AI. I'm an artist. I literally was drawing stuff and putting it on the EA forums. I'm an artist. So stop trying to find an excuse to down somebody. Hey, he using AI. Hey, he using AI. Maybe you had a hard time with AI. I know a lot of people scared that AI is going to take jobs, which they are. They really are. And they're going to make it hard for people in general. But I'm going to use it for what I can use it for. Am I going to use it to run my life? No. Yeah. So what you was talking about with your with the other games you was dealing with? I mean, you was trying to bring some games together, some ideas together on Pat.
Yeah, like I was on ChatGPT, trying to like like how do I go about building the ultimate wrestling game, like mixing it with No Mercy, King of Coliseum, Def Jam Vendetta, WWE 2K14, and a few other games all wrapped in one. And then they gave me like the step by step and whatever. And I just want to be able to implement it because I have a whole wish list that I never put out for that. And that's and the thing is, WWE 2K still samples off of my list from the boxing freaking wish list, even though they've never seen the wrestling one that I have. The wrestling one that I have blows their shit out of the water completely.
Yeah.
And also, I have an MMA one as well, and that has not been released at all neither. So that right there will let you know that I've been cooking for the longest, and I've been holding that stuff right there. Crazy thing too, before I even met any of you guys and whatever, before I got on the forums, I originated motherfucking autofill and autocorrect 5 years before Google. But what happened was I didn't have 10K for the trademark, and I didn't have 15K for the patent at the time because layouts were crazy during the Bush era,
Yeah.
and it was hard to get a job during that time. So if I would have had that back in the day, Poe, because I still got all the script files, the C files, and all that stuff for that autofill and autocorrect to this day. I have
Yeah.
multiple copies of how the way I wrote the script. Is just if I would have done it back then, I probably would have been chilling at a remote island collecting checks from every platform that uses my autofill and autocorrect.
Yeah. Yeah. They're getting paid off for that. Um. Yeah. Because I remember when I we started gathering the people for the wishlist mafia and stuff. Because I used to always get all the people that had great ideas, and I try to bring them together into one group. I think Pat was like one of the first people that was on the team.
Yeah, I was because the thing was, I saw a lot of things that you were doing. I was like, yo, hold on, let me see if I could throw my cap stuff on top of what he got going on, and let's see if he rocks with it. If he rocks with it, good. But if he could tell me to go kick rocks, I'm fine with it. I was just waiting for your response at the time. I didn't know how you were gonna react. I was thinking
Yeah.
that you were gonna tell me kick rocks.
No, I was huge on the creation mode.
I thought that's how I contemplated in my head originally. I was like, I don't know if I present this to him. I don't know if he's gonna tell me to kick rocks or not.
No.
But hey, let's give it a shot.
Yeah, because I had people doing like they had expertise at certain things in the game, and we never bumped heads. You had people that were online only. They're like they were deep with the online modes. Then you got people that was good at I think what's his name, Vlad. I think Vlad was good at coding and doing stuff like that. So and Vlad was helping us with like writing up the wish list. We like put all the ideas on the EA forums, and then he'll take them. He'll go through the whole forum and gather all the great ideas. A lot of people had some trash ideas that didn't make sense, and he didn't put them. So and I think we did an agreement thing. Do you think this should be on the list? But we made a lot of friends and a lot of people remember the wish list. And people don't they really don't think that we had people supporting that wish list, that we didn't really give it to Brian Hayes. He asked for it. He You remember when they asked for the wish list and I gave it to him?
Yeah, I remember. And then they only used 2% of our wish list and focused all of their resources on That
The
silly
story
ass
mode.
Andre Bishop story mode.
Yeah, story mode. And then come to find out, Brizzo said the story mode was a dry run because they was gonna give us the option to create character. I mean, create like Andre Bishop. We had been able to create a character for that role to play a story mode. Which I was like, all right, I see what you're talking about. And he was gonna add, you know, all our wishes ideas. But being that what's come didn't sell well, I wish I wish Brizzo would have said that in the forums before they got pushed to just focus on UFC because they the way they already had they had it set up already. They had it set up. All right, we're gonna do boxing 1 year, and then the next year we're gonna do MMA, and then I think it was I don't know if it was gonna be a 2 year cycle or 1 year cycle, but they was on like boxing, then UFC, boxing, then UFC, because that right there shows you that if you try to make them too close together, that they're going to take money from each other. That's what I keep telling people. They saying the UFC got nothing to do with undisputed. That was taking money from the UFC game. UFC was hurting it. Anytime you put two combat sports head to head, it's going to take money from the other. The only time that really worked was back in the days. I say about what was that when we had 3 basketball games, 3 baseball games, 3 NHL games. We had 3 tennis games, and that's crazy. We had all these games, and nobody was complaining. Nobody was saying anything. But then EA started making it hard for them to get people. They start buying out these companies, or they kept making it hard for them to get certain athletes. They start being exclusive. If boxers weren't, I mean, if the athletes weren't exclusive to one company, it would be more companies making games. And that was my main thing that I used to tell people when I taught the boxers. Don't let a company make you exclusive because you could get more money being in more than one game. How's the weather down there in Florida, Pat?
Right now it's chill. For a whole month it was raining because we were getting hit with like small hurricanes and stuff. But
Yeah.
right now it's chill. But honestly, I just want to finish these projects so I can go travel, man. Honestly,
Where you think they're going?
what traveling was?
Where you traveling to? Where you want to travel to?
I'm contemplating either Cuba or DR, or I'm contemplating shit. What else? Possibly Nicaragua. One of those three.
Oh, okay. How's you going with the gardening stuff? Is the rain hurting it?
Um, it's going good little by little. It's just my pups destroyed a couple of my trees by going through the roots and eating the roots out and stuff. But hey, they got me really good.
What's
So,
destroying them? What'd you say destroying them?
oh, my pups,
Oh,
yeah, they jumped on
that
top of the big ass flower pot and they just digged up and they just started chewing up on the roots.
that.
They got my ass good, my pups. But I'm gonna be fixing that once I take everything to the farm. Um, I'm um, I'm gonna build a barricade around the thing so nothing gets to it except for water.
Yeah,
Cause that's what I'm been doing besides working, just try to knock down as much palm metals as possible. And I'm just trying to get this thing called a bush hog, which is a machine that because I'm trying to rent it out. It's a machine that it goes way up on top and it um shreds the tree from top all the way down the bottom. It it looks crazy.
that. What if everybody in the everybody left YouTube? Y'all still here on the YouTube? Is YouTube still working? It's just like no, it's not no movement. Leafy, you still here? Because I know you said you was gonna work on your game and listen. Yo, it's crazy that I be getting like DMs from on LinkedIn from developers. They say they actually listen to my show. And then when I always look at my show as my show. I mean, this show is not as professional as other content creators. It's like I'm trying to build up my channel, but it's not as good as other content creators. But I'm getting feedback from developers.
Damn.
Or somebody named Mama Waldy Black. Now. I know I asked you this before, but I probably forgot. Mama Waldy Black. That's from Blackula. So you got to be an old. I mean, I hate calling people old heads, but you got to be an older person to know about Mama Waldy Blackula. So are you up there with me? That's what I keep telling because they keep saying that there's not a big fan base for older older gamers. There is. It's like 75 or higher. That's older gamers. They keep pushing that number up. Dude, my thing is do the survey. All right, so you 2 years older than me. All right. Yeah, so they keep trying to say there's not older gamers. They gotta realize we're from back in the days when gaming like almost first started. Some of us when it started. So we're still gamers. We're probably not playing games as much as we did as children or teenagers, but we're still gamers. We're buying your product, and you're trying to say we don't matter. But from doing research and gathering analytics with iHolly, they won't show it. If you're saying, "Oh, we got people," you're saying it. Show it, and please don't let it be tampered. There are a lot of adults playing sports games. That casual, you say, "Oh, we gotta get the casual fans." Casual games do not help your game survive.
Exactly.
It's a proven fact. I've been playing since Buster Douglas. Oh yeah, so I got you a little. I've been playing since the M's, Activision Boxing. Yeah, so and I was getting a lot of them games. A lot of them games I really didn't like, but I still bought them. I didn't even send them back. I was like holding on to them because I was a fan of boxing. Like it was this game called Contender. That game was stiffer than stiff.
Contender was good. It was an arcade game, but it was pretty freaking good. I like the characters that were on there. Like, let's say if they would have had my ultimate cab list, if they would have had like the headband, like who's Chavez, the eye patch, and stuff like that, and bandanas and whatnot from like the Ready to Rumble guys, you could be able to make those guys in those boxing games.
Yeah.
I like to make people like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
And that
my thing was that like Victorious Boxer, even though it had a lot of exaggerated punches and stuff in it, it still did a lot of boxing things right. That even a boxing fan be like, all right, that looks good. I could give it a pass. And a lot of us, even from the EA forums, was like, if they slow the game down a little bit to look more like boxing in real life, and we accept the same characters. a lot of people like, no, we want realistic characters. Sir, all companies shouldn't have to repeat the same model. They shouldn't have the same thing. They can have that arcadey, I mean not arcadey, the cartoony graphics and stuff. But if the game realistic to boxing and stuff, people will accept it.
I would prefer that better because, like, let's say for instance, Fire Pro Wrestling, the Fire Pro Wrestling series, if they would have got everybody but the unlicensed version of them, they could just allow you to edit them and just give them their rightful names, like Mike Tyson or Muhammad Ali or Floyd Mayweather. Like, let's say if you had an unlicensed version of Floyd Mayweather, he's tied it up all the way and he's got wicks on his hair, but he fights like Floyd Mayweather and he's got tats on his face. But you could remove all those tats and you could give him the either the low cut fade or the bald head with the goatee, and then boom, that's money made. And then you just change his name right there.
Yeah, that's my thing. They could. I don't. But I was reading something because I was, outside that same idea. But when it comes to boxers, they can't. They got to be real careful with how realistic they look, the name, and the fighting style. Like if you say somebody is let me see, Boyd Mayfeather or something like that, and then he fight like Floyd, I think they could sue you for that. So now, if
Well,
the name is totally different and they give you the options to edit the name, that'd be a good idea.
well, here's the thing. When you said something like that, well, in Fire Pro Wrestling, the wrestler Mike Awesome from ECW, they
Yeah,
actually have named Mike Awful.
yeah. I think because of because a lot like games like that, they don't really look at it as being a big money maker. Because I was asking that I asked them same questions and they say like nah, like EA was if EA would have did something like that, they I think we was talking to them about something like this, and they said if they do something like that, people gonna jump right on it real quick because their thing is they trying to get as much money they can, and they don't see Fire Pro Wrestling as a big money maker. Like EA is a multi-billion-dollar company. You see how much they paid for that the new owners. So I mean, it has a lot of worth in it. Let me see. Let me read some more of this blog that I made. This article dives deep into the contradiction, examining the real history of boxing video games, exposing the excuses studios hide behind, and silencing the false comparisons that fans have endured for decades. The historical truth. Boxing video games were there first because there was a Madden fever and NBA 2K. There no before there was a Madden fever and NBA 2K. There were boxing. There was boxing. Let's look at the factual timeline. 1976, Heavyweight Champ came out on Sega, the world's first boxing video game, a mechanical electronic hybrid arcade title, predating nearly every sports series. 1980, boxing from Activision, Atari 2600, the first home console boxing game ever made. 1984, Punch Out, Nintendo. It was an arcade game. Brought personality, pattern recognition, and cinematic flair to boxing games long before most sports titles had lifelike visuals or storytelling. 1990s, titles like Boxing Legends of the Ring and Riddick Bowe Boxing introduced realism, stamina, and damage tracking before FIFA or NBA Live evolved past arcade scoring.
And one more thing I want to add to that Riddick Bowe boxing: the first ever game to ever feature creative player.
Oh yeah,
That's facts.
yeah. Um, in the 2000s, Knockout Kings and Fight Night series, EA Sports delivered full 3D realism, ESPN commentary, licensed boxers, and analog punch controls. Achieved that, achievements that parallel what NBA 2K and Madden were just beginning to perfect. By sheer chronology, boxing should have been one of gaming's most advanced and refined sports genres by now, which is true. It should have been a better. The way the boxing games we getting now, there shouldn't be no excuse, and we gotta stop giving Steel City excuses. It's not one or two people making a game in their garage anymore. Stop giving them excuses. Oh, this is their first game. That left after 2 years. Their first game. Once they start getting into 3, 4, and 5 years, that leaves. They got a publisher, 3 investors. It means when you get 3 investors, that means your game is worth investing in. So that means at that time the game was worth investing in. Let me see. By sheer chronology, boxing should have been one of game's most advanced, refined sports games by now. Instead, it has been frozen in time while its peers evolved into billion-dollar juggernauts. And you know what makes it so bad? When I talked to other developers, they thought Steel City was going to be a juggernaut. They said, wow, this company came out the gate swinging hard. This is about to be the best game ever. It's going to make us rethink the way we make games. And then all of that started deteriorating. They said, yo, what happened? I said, I don't know. I don't work on the team. Let me see. The Great Stagnation. How excuses replace innovation. Excuse 1. Boxing is too niche. False. Boxing generates billions in annual global revenue, with major fights drawing Super Bowl level viewership numbers. Yet somehow this multi-billion-dollar sport is labeled too niche for gaming investment. An argument that crumbles when we realize sports like skateboarding, snowboarding, or UFC, a niche in itself, has all received multiple polished franchises. Right there. But people going to keep defending. I'm like, what check? Let me see the check that EA is giving you. Why? Steel City is giving you. Y'all defending it too hard. Help them get better. Let me see. Excuse 2. Boxing games are hard to develop. Also false. Modern games, Unity, Unreal Engine 5, etc., and motion caption pipelines make realism achievable for nearly any sports. The truth is the studios are unwilling, not unable. They choose casual friendly hybrids instead of mastering simulation authenticity. Something players have been begging for since Fight Night Champion. Before Fight Night Champion, actually. Excuse number 3. Excuse number 3. The audience doesn't exist. One of the most misleading talking point ever pushed by certain developers and publishers. The recent title, Undisputed 2023-2024, sold over 1 million copies in its first week, despite being unfinished and flawed. Proof the audience is starving for a true boxing sim. Fans have proven their demand time and time again. The lack of supply, not interest, is the problem. 3. NBA 2K, the benchmark they didn't want to acknowledge. Some distractors try to discredit NBA 2K whenever boxing fans are in a gold standard, saying you can't compare boxing to basketball. Let's set the record straight. NBA 2K silenced EA Sports and destroyed the NBA Live franchise by doing what all great developers do: listen to their core fans, innovate presentation and realism, build deep, building deep ecosystems. My career, my league, online economies. Respect authenticity while offering accessibility. Let me read that again. Respecting authenticity while offering accessibility. They love using that word accessibility when it comes to casual, and that's crazy. And this is the funniest thing. I can't play Tekken, Mortal Kombat, and Street Fighter. I have a hard time with it because I'm a casual to those casual games, those fighting games. But when you come over to games that supposed to be so-called realistic, people start complaining. Oh, why are you saying it's not accessible? So why aren't you saying those fighting games aren't accessible to people that want to play it? All right, and let me see. What was I reading? Oh, for years, 2K was the definition of modern sports simulation, evolving faster than any other title. If 2K made a boxing game today, their infrastructure, motion capture expertise, AI realism, and broadcast presentation system could refine the games overnight. Correction of misconcept. Don King, Don King Prize Fighter, which came out in 2008, was only published by 2K. It was actually developed by Venom Game, a small studio with limited resources. I talked to that developer, and he said they were getting on them, pushing out the game. They pushed out the game faster than Steel City. I think 18 months they pushed the game out. 18 months to make a game like a boxing game is crazy. The game had potential but lacked the polish of a true 2K's in-house title. So when fans invoke NBA 2K as a comparison, it's not blind fandom. It's respect for a studio that did things right and could easily elevate boxing beyond its stagnation. Let me see. The industry manipulation of boxing fans' expectations. For over a decade, many studios and publishers have conditioned boxing fans to accept less, feeding them talking points that downplay what's possible in a modern sports title. Fans who ask for depth, realism, and authenticity are often told they're asking for too much, that their expectations are unrealistic, or that realism isn't fun. It's not just dismissible, it's deliberate. These companies reframe limitations as design choices, masking cost cutting and inexpensive behind buzzwords like accessibility and broad appeal. What they're really saying is, we don't believe your passion is worth the investment. They tell players that boxing can't be realistic while simultaneously releasing highly technical shooters, complex RPGs, and deep career simulations in other games. These games demand precision, skill, and understanding, especially what boxing at its best represents. The narrative has quietly reshaped public perception instead of acquiring new developers. It has convinced some players that boxing should remain simple or arcadey, and yet today fans, many of them lifelong followers of the sports, have grown more knowledgeable than ever. They study footwork, stamina, timing, and ring IQ. They don't need a toy. They need, they want a true simulation. The truth is that the industry is protecting casual players. It's underestimating everyone. It's telling adults and children creators alike that their vision of a sophisticated boxing game is unrealistic, when the only thing unrealistic is the lack of ambition coming from the studios themselves. I'm gonna start right there because I got it's quite a lot to read. Um, Let me check on that. The YouTube just stopped. Um, yeah. So what you want to say, Pat?
Yeah, just 2K did mess up when they got Venom Games to do the game for real. But for Prize Fighter did have potential, but then again, you have to remember Don King's name was on it. So
Yeah,
again, on top of that, if Don King was like really involved with that game, probably those publishers and developers would lose their money too because he probably would have found a way to get it because Don King is the coldest pimp in boxing.
yeah. My thing is that I think they could have did a better job if they didn't rush him, but they're trying to rush the game out. I think they were trying to they actually had fear in EA. I remember Brizzle was saying it. They're like, oh, 2K making a game. We don't know nothing about it, but behind the scenes, I was talking to 2K, and they were saying I forget the guy from Venom Games. He was saying that 2K was pushing them to push the game out too fast, and they kept saying that it makes no sense to try to push this game out too fast. No game gets developed this fast. And then what make it so bad? Then 2K got sued by boxers. I remember Shannon sued them and other because they was trying. Their thing was they was trying to just put the boxers in the game, and they knew better than that. They was trying to get all these boxers in the game for free, and some of them they weren't paying the price that they really wanted. But I think if that game was fleshed out the way it looked like it could have been a great game, but it was like too much clunkiness, and they couldn't you could tell they didn't have play testers and stuff like that. And that's
Yeah,
my thing with Steel City. Who are the play testers? Who really is play testing this game?
content creators probably.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
a lot
and
of
I'm
them,
not trying to say the content creators. It's just if they were so hyped up about this boxing game, where were they at when in the forum days?
yeah, they start
Because
yeah, now they start to make their own leagues and stuff. They're trying to help save the game.
yeah, because if it wasn't for Mac Man's video, none of them boys would never even put out videos.
Yup, he the OG. That's what I be telling people. He was the OG of making content creation. He was like the epitome of what content creators are doing now, and they're a lot of them millionaires. I heard one of the content creators is actually a billionaire. I'm not talking about Mr. Beast, but I'm talking about like Cos. and all the mother, they like up there. And my thing, Matt Mittens could have been out there. You
Mac
know,
Mittens could have been that guy, and he still can.
that's what I'm saying. He still can. It's like he don't have no enthusiasm to do it. I was asking, even even he could start it out by being on the show. I was like, yo, just come on the show. I'm trying to make a the old Winston's Mafia come together and we just do a show. That would probably hype up people. That would probably show our solidarity, what we had at first. People see that and be like, oh, sweat, these the OGs of, the wish list and stuff. It's
But
just,
my thing is, I think a lot of people got discouraged after that Fight Night Champion game.
yeah,
That's how I feel about it.
yeah. And I think I might even be able to get PR guy. And PR guy, he's like had the leagues. He was doing the leagues that we had. And the thing is, with PR guy, he's married now, which it was funny to me. He's married and he's a doctor. I said, you a doctor? When did you have time to study? Because I know we used to be on late. I think we used to do our show late, like 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah. Yeah, but he a doctor. And he gave me a shout out, like I think like 2 years ago. He like, I see you still at it, Poe. He said, yeah. He said, I got a family now. Even cannabis. You remember cannabis?
I think so. Yeah, probably
Gizmo.
doing
Gizmo.
Gizmo. Think I remember Gizmo.
Yeah. Yeah, cannabis. He was he's actually in our Instagram group. But yeah, all these guys, they were like the backbone. Vlad, who else we had? Country Boy. I think Country Boy wasn't as active on the Whistles Mafias as everybody else was, but Country Boy was there. To
But
me,
he was getting the fighters though.
yeah,
You and him were getting the fighters because that's what I remember.
yeah. And my thing with Country Boy is he was more concerned about with Tommy the Duke Morrison. Every time I hear Tommy the Duke Morrison, I think Country Boy.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think I'm about to what our time looking like. Yeah, I'm about to in the show because everybody got silent. I was trying to get some more feedback. I'm trying to get more people on the show, and I know developers listen to this the show. If you could come on the show or my DMs or anything, just say, yeah, I watched your listen to your podcast or watch your podcast. Just put a yes in my DMs so I could know that y'all still there listening to it. Because I know y'all listened to me like a month ago, a few months ago. It's some main developers that actually they're still listening to me. I know you're listening. But just in my DM, even on LinkedIn, in my DM, say, yeah, I listen to your show. But yeah, and also the wish list. I mean, not the wish. I don't know why I keep saying wish list. With the survey, please fill out the survey. And I'm doing a giveaway next week. I'm gonna do a giveaway. So fill out the survey and I'll put your name on the list. And in December, I'm gonna give away a pair of gloves. And y'all can give me some. I might make them custom or whatever. But I'm gonna give away a pair of gloves in December. And y'all can give me recommendations of what kind of gloves that y'all think I should give, stuff like that. And I'll probably do a little poll to see what to give away. I mean, what kind of gloves it should be, and I might customize. But I'm giving away some gloves in December. So yeah, fill out the survey so your list could be on that will. And if you share it, I put your name, your name up there each time that you share the thing, so you have a better chance of winning. But until the next show, you got anything to say, Pat?
One thing I gotta say is I I don't know what the update's gonna be on the 28th, right?
Yeah, and they giving out patch notes tomorrow.
Well, let's see what these patch notes are about because honestly, that whole game, the game before that patch was even good, but then when that patch, when they brought back the flash knockdowns and the flash knockouts, um, it ruined the game completely.
Yeah,
It ruined it completely. Like it was terrible, terrible, terrible. Because the patch before that patch, the game was phenomenal. Because the thing is, you have to remember, I play with created characters, and that's all I do.
yeah,
But however, they just gotta have more styles, and I've seen that in the game, like for the taunt selection, it's only exclusive for like the new taunts that they have for Roy Jones and Emmanuel Augustus. Um, it's only like exclusive to them, and
yeah.
not and you cannot have those taunts for anybody else.
They should give us a creative style.
Yeah, and I don't like the fact that punch styles are tied into stances. I think that should be separate. Honestly,
You say punch styles is tied into stance.
yeah, it is, and
Oh,
undisputed.
yeah,
It should
yeah,
be separate.
yeah. Sure. Um,
And you should be able to select your own time in the customization thing instead of like that stupid UFC style crap with the D pads. Because the only button that actually works for taunt is the left D pad. Because the up, down, and the right does not work for taunt. It's only like for the switch stance, the loose footwork movement, and the illegal shot.
yeah, that's true. My thing is, it's so much that they could do with a boxing game, with a game in general. And like with even Victorious boxers, they had great, like, you could create your punch.
Yeah, and Victoria's boxes too, the Japanese
Yeah,
version.
yeah. And I'm like, come on, you got games back then that was making stuff like that, and you don't got it in today's game. That's the stuff that keeps casual people playing the game. Stuff like that. The creation modes keep the casual fan base. It keeps people that don't even play boxing games. They like creating things. They like to see how good they can create things. I remember even on with Fight Night, when I had my creation site, you had people there that wasn't boxing fans, but they became boxing fans because they were creating boxers. They was gathering information about boxers to create better boxers. There was some guys that was making some great renditions of boxers with what they had. And I was like, wow. So, yeah, until the next show, yeah, Mama, while you back, I'm about to put your name on the wheel. Um, yeah, until the next show, I might do a show Wednesday, you know, but man, you always come at the last minute, man.
Who is the came at the last minute?
My man DM1 FT. Yo, it's like he wait for me to say I'm about to, stop the show. He pops up every time. Yo, I'm about to log off, man. We've been on here like 2.5 hours. Um, I'm gonna do a show Wednesday. Um, Did you do the wish list? I mean, I keep saying wish list. Did
Survey.
you do the survey? Um, Let me know because it's unaccounted for. Oh, you did it today. All right. So you did it. Oh, you saying you was late. So you did the survey. So I'm gonna put your name. I think. Do I got your name up there? D1FT. Well, I'm gonna see if I got your name up there already. But if I don't, I'm gonna add your name. All right. I'm gonna add your name and I'm gonna add Mama Orgy Black. Share share the link to the survey. Cause like I keep telling people, this survey is not only for Steel City, it's for other games. Oh, you did the survey 2 weeks ago. That's the old survey. See, I got a new survey that I was talking to some developers, and I structured it a little better. They want more details of what fans want. So, and they told me to put up different things. So these are developers saying, um, I'm gonna let you decide what would be good for you Wednesday. What time would be good for you? I'll start the show. Give me a second. That's funny. I supposed to have stopped this show like 10 minutes ago. Let me see. Yeah, that's the new survey. What time next Wednesday is good for you? I'm trying to find out before I end the show. Let me know on my in my Discord DMs or X. Let me know. All right. So to the next until the next show, you know, I see y'all. And thanks, Pat, for coming through. Pat,
Anytime, brother.
yeah, Pat was my co-host for today. I shout out to him. He's one of my OGs. Not my OGs, but we're OGs from the fight night days. So, shout out to Pat. Shout out to the Whistles Mafia. Shout out to all the fans. Yeah. At 8 p.m. So that's why Westcom used to do the show at 8 p.m. All right, I do an 8 p.m. show Wednesday. That's what what's his name? I forget his name. My man used to do the show at 8 p.m. That's why he used to do it at 8 p.m. All right. So 8 p.m. Wednesday. All right. Until the next show.
Peace.
Peace.